everyone and welcome back. So today I thought I would share with you my poetry collection. I absolutely love poetry and it's a really big part of my life. So I thought maybe it would be cool to share that with you, especially on my booktube, because it wouldn't be my channel without having some sort of poetry in it. So let's get into it. So I've mentioned in previous videos that I have quite a few Shakespeare collections and I thought there's no point in bringing them all down because they're all the same poems. So I brought my two favourites down for you. I have All the World's a Stage, which is a collection of speeches, poems and songs. Sort of like open, illustrated and pretty, and it's just like a selection of all of his best ones. Then I have the complete works of William Shakespeare, and this is very heavy and I own 2 copies of this ginormous book. But yeah, it has everything that he has ever done in this that we have found, and that includes all of his poems. But I mean, it's super beautiful, I love it. My arms hurt now. So the next thing I have to show you is this beautiful collection of an assortment of poets. We have William Blake, then Robert Burns, Christina Rossetti, who I love, Emily Dickinson, Oscar Wilde, the amazing Oscar Wilde, and then John Donne, who is my all-time favourite poet. I have this copy as well of his complete works, not his complete works, his poetry and prose. This has different poems into this one, they have similar ones, but I think altogether I have his complete collection. And this one's got like notes and things in it, because I studied a lot from this book and tried to figure out all the different things about his poems. So this one's a very loved book and I love it. The next is a preface to Donne, which is like the analysis of his poems. It's also got his poems inside them, and it's also got like poems and plays that sort of relate to him. A nice picture of him there. Yeah, this is a really useful book and it's something that I really love, and it's very interesting as well. So this is one of my favourite books that I own. It's Donne, The Reformed Soul. It's like a biography of Donne, but it also analyses his poems, the context of his poems, and the history of who he was as a person. So you learn everything about Donne that you would ever want to know. The next I have to show you is the selected poems of Tennyson. Now, Alfred Lord Tennyson is one of my favourite poets again. This is just like an anthology of all of his best poems, and it's got all of my favourites in there, so it's a really cute book. The next that I have is Tennyson, An Illustrated Life. So again, this is like a biography of Alfred Lord Tennyson. It has stories about him, you know, the context, his history, about his poems, and it also has about his relationship with Arthur Hallam, who is like one of my all-time favourite historical characters. So this is like one of the very few books that I know mentions him in, Arthur Hallam that is. So I'm really happy to have it and it's one of my favourite in my collection. The next one that I have is England's Best Love Poems. So this is like an anthology of England's best love poems, and there is a printout of The Sleeper in the Valley by Arthur Rimbaud. I can't pronounce it, but this is one of my favourite poems, and I forgot that was in there. It's got like the Charge of the Light Brigade, it's Tennyson again, some Thomas Hardy, some Robert Browning, George Gordon, Lord Byron, Elizabeth Browning, so you really have like some of the best poems that England has ever produced, as the title says, and it's really, really beautiful copy. I love it. The next is a Victorian Posy, which is a book that I used to have when I was a kid, but then my mum rebought it for me because we didn't have it anymore. So it's a really, really, really beautiful book, and it's like Victorian floral poems with amazing illustrations. You know, that one's the honeysuckle. We've got There Is Nothing Held So Dear, poppies in the garden. So yeah, these like just beautiful Victorian flowers and nature and fairies, spring, yeah, and it's split into like spring, summer, autumn, winter. So you know, it's so beautiful, but it smells so good. Next I have the poems of Robert Browning. This is a monstrous book. It's very heavy going, if you can see that. But I mean, it's got a lot of his work in. I love Robert Browning a lot. He's again one of my favourite poets ever, from the 19th century, and yeah, I would highly recommend reading some Robert Browning. So to finish, we have Edgar Allan Poe, who is my second favourite poet. So this is like a collection of his stories and more well-known poems that he's done, like The Raven, To Helen and Lenore and things. And he's just so amazing. Like, if you love poetry and you love Gothic literature or just really pretty things, then seriously read this because he is amazing. So that's everything for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed going through my collection. It's really fun for me. So if you really love bookish videos and you're not subscribed yet, then please do, because that would mean a lot. If you like this video and would like to see more of my collections, then please give this video a like. And I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.